Have you checked the children?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the horror show. I'm Cecil Laird.
And I'm still over here. I'm Jaime Fuego.
That's right, we are respecting our social distancing.
Oh, I missed you though.
But we are here to do a trailer reaction roundup, you guys. We're behind on a number of trailers. Some of them are as old as 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. But we still haven't actually watched them. There haven't been a lot of trailers advertised on TV because no one knows when the movies are going to actually come out.
Yep.
So it's fine. We're okay. We're still before these movies have released. Although we did miss some trailers for some, Kiwi releases or whatever. But
yeah, it is what it is. The entertainment community is at kind of a standstill in many of its sectors. So, hey, we're just bearing with as best we can.
Indeed. So we're going to ease into this a little bit. We're going to make some people wait if you want to see our reaction to the Train to Busan sequel trailer. That's going to be in a little bit. But first, we're going to start off with one that's called The Documentary for the Recently Deceased.
Ooh.
This is
yeah.
What do you think that might be about? The documentary for the recently deceased.
What could it be about? Is it actually about film industry stuff, or is it?
Did you ever
about,
hear of the book for the recently deceased?
No. This is like.
Did you ever see a little movie called Beetlejuice?
Oh goodness! Is it about the sequel, the Hawaiian sequel?
Nope. It's a documentary about the filmmaking of Beetlejuice.
Oh.
It's the documentary for the recently deceased because they follow the book of the recently deceased.
I remember, and now that you mention it, yeah, I didn't watch Beetlejuice quite as much as some later Burton releases.
Beetlejuice is great.
That's probably my fault. So,
all right, so let's
lose his cred.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's get into this one though. Documentary for the recently deceased.
I know there was a musical on Broadway that just stopped.
All right, and in 3, 2, 1, go.
Fuego sucks.
It all started when a lady knocked on the door when my mother was living here, and she was making dinner for 2 friends.
Senora.
And a woman came to the door and started asking about a movie, which surprised all 3 of them. Nothing like that happens in East Corinth. And
Love a good doc.
my mother really didn't know what to say, and she finally said, "Would you like a piece of pie?"
That's so down home. I love it.
I think,
That's the town they blow through at the beginning on the model.
Oh yeah,
the
I remember.
simplicity of the buildings, and
I gotta move this back so I can hear you.
Kind of get around with camera.
Gina, young Gina.
Yeah, looking babylicious.
Woo!
Bridge.
Babylicious,
Worked
expeditious.
pretty well together, and then on the hill,
She was the
we
president. She
built the facade of the modern.
That's they literally
There was a
built
lot
it
of
for
buzz
just the
in
movie.
community, a lot of
Wow.
excitement. Some people weren't happy. They were a little nervous about what all these Hollywood types would do
Oh, that's funny.
in a small town like this, but the crew was wonderful.
Yeah, obviously they always will be. Just
Tim
have that
Burton, baby,
nervous
young ass Tim
apprehension
Burton.
and stuff. And
Oh, dude, I love
this
it,
is what,
though.
84, 85 that Burton did this?
I love it. I
Let's
love
say?
it. I love
I mean,
it. Look
this
at
was
this.
before Edward Scissorhands. This was before Batman. This was.
Such a fan of film. We gotta be on one of these
We had
documentary
research
roles
on
at some
little
point.
towns through New
We
England,
got it.
so
Boy,
for the
would I be
signage and stuff, we try to
just humbled
kind
and
of
honored.
make that go. And same with the bridge. We looked at a bunch of different.
Yeah, the
covered
bridge is
bridges.
great.
But we had our own issues with that, so.
Oh, so they built one?
We had to make it course so the car could fall through it and whatever. And the big thing was with the covered bridge was we had to block off the creek because below the bridge was a tiny little creek.
Tiny
And we
little
needed
creek.
at least 3 or 4 feet of water for the car to land and actually get under the water.
That's for it to
Wow.
blow up and
So
everything.
we constantly were blocking this little creek with these 1-ton blocks of concrete.
Huh.
And we'd get the water level up to 5 or 6 feet, and then a big storm would come through and it would wash them all out. And we have to come back. We did it at least 3 times
Oh, wow.
before we finally shot the movie. That was probably the biggest thing that made everybody crazy.
That's funny.
You see, it's stuff like
I
this being
remember the
outsourced now
machine,
that makes me sad
you
about
know,
the loss of
the
DVD
dirt-
special features, which we don't really,
That
the
was the
Blu-ray
greatest
special
machine.
features that are dying
It
out.
did nothing. It just dug dirt up
And
and
spit it out the other way,
It was
yeah.
just animated, you know. It was very
Dude, I
creative.
love, like, stories of filmmaking like this, though. Like,
Same, man. I adore this sort of
Kimberly
stuff. That's
had
why I'm a
done
Oh,
collector.
V.
you
Neal.
know,
Wow.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and a couple of little.
She,
Disney shorts that he-
she
a couple of little
judged
shorts that he
Nora
did.
on
But
Face Off.
It was such
She's
a
a judge
weird
on Face
movie.
Off.
We
Interesting.
all thought
She's the
this
makeup
movie's
effects.
going to be so weird. I wonder. I hope people go see it because
She must have done the, you know, The big mouth and the long nose.
Oh, I'm remembering the cosplay we saw at Phoenix
The fact that we got
Comic-Con.
That was
nominated
so
for
good.
Oscar
Fan Fest a few
totally
years.
blew my mind. I'll tell you that much.
Keep in mind, you're
It's
far
like,
from the
whoa,
mic, so.
you know?
We
Yeah.
were in good company too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh,
They have Oscars
Keaton's
for it.
go!
Oh man, I love it, dude. I'm on board. Just
I'm
that
super
little
on board,
snippet. Just that little snippet. I love a good behind the scenes story. That's some of my favorite things about special features on documentaries and stuff are the behind the scenes stories. And I love that we're getting full-fledged documentaries about some of these movies that we just absolutely love so much. So I am super, super on board for this. How about you?
Oh, pumped too, man. I mean, like, the loss of special features as everything is transitioning to digital is one of the biggest casualties of, like, just trends in the industry, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a film that I didn't discover until later in my life, and so that's why it's a little bit less of that, like, pivotal, immediately. Yes, I lost so many of my, like, cred cards or whatever by not knowing the significance of the book reference and stuff, but, I mean, if I can see something that is 90 minutes to, like, 2 hours, as opposed to, like, a cool 20 to 30, maybe 40 minutes like we used to get in those supplemental features, I'm actually much more about that, because that means you can dive deeper, you can get so much more insight about every aspect of the creation process, the score, the, people who made the practical, the people who built the sets, the, just interaction with your director, and if there was an on-hand producer on set, and all of those different ideas coming together. I actually really love seeing pre-production ideas too. I would hope you get as comprehensive as possible if you're going to make a doc about a movie into a full feature. I mean, give me the before, the onset, and the after, and even the legacy beyond that. So, yeah.
I mean, this looks super engaging and a well-made documentary.
Very much so.
They got access to a lot of cool footage. I'm surprised they had all this footage from back in the day, but obviously someone did their due diligence and gathered it all. So I'm on board for it. So let us know what you guys think about the documentary for the recently deceased, and we're going to move on to the next trailer here.
I just love the reluctance of the small town to the infiltration of Hollywood that the woman talked about at one particular point. We don't know about what these Hollywood types
We don't know about all your Hollywood types. All right. Next up, Fuego, let's get into Blood Machines. This is what? This is something for Shudder. You know a little bit more about it than me, so tell everyone about it.
This has been, and shout out to Mikey Mnemonic for this one specifically, because him and I have had correspondence about this for maybe a year now. I think we reacted to the teaser trailer for this, but I'm not 100%. Bottom line, though, this is from the same movement that begat Gunship and, like, various others in the British, like, dark synth scene. These guys are a little bit harder, though. This is Carpenter Brute, and so Carpenter Brute are scoring a film that is, like, sci-fi, kind of horror, and they had previously done a short music video called Turbo Killer, which is the one I showed you last week when I was over here. This is, like, envisioning that scenario as a full-length movie. And it hits Shudder exclusively on May 21st, I believe. But sometime here in May, just the visual style, it's all digitized with real actors and, crazy backgrounds and stuff, and music. I mean, Carpenter Brute's badass, so I'm stoked to check this out. I've been holding off on it.
Let's do it.
They announced the
back a little. Oh, never mind.
Like, the whole album is available right now, which is even crazier.
All right,
and,
so
I'm not even listening to the album because I want to see it in the context of the film with the visuals.
3, 2, 1, Blood Machines.
Yes. So this has screened already at a few different places, but I would imagine maybe they pump some extra budge into it, a little extra money.
That's lots of teeth.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look at that.
Oh, booty.
It's very like that Pink Floyd where the naked woman is floating. Those.
A cyberpunk wet dream? Oh boy, here we go. Hyperbole.
I know, and when the hype
that still looks good though.
When
looks
the hype
amazing.
machine comes in, it's a little aggravating, obviously.
A hallucinogenic journey through space. Collider. Do you still listen to Collider?
Not as much. I read Collider, but I don't listen to Collider since they fired all those people.
Carpenter Brute! Ooh, I do like the music, man. Yeah! Ooh, that's sexy. Okay, this looks just twisted enough to be totally interesting. What?
Very condensed. Yes.
Wow, okay. The Cosmic Opera.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, May 21st, not 27th, like I said. So.
Okay, cool.
And
All
the
right.
original soundtrack is now available, so you can actually jump on, purchase it. You can test it out and listen to it on
I'll
YouTube.
wait for the vinyl. I'll get it on
like
the
that.
vinyl.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
The visuals look amazing. This...
I just want to show you Turbo Killer again because remember it was the one where the girl was dancing and the guy with the car came at her. This is like taking that idea and turning it into a full
this is
movie.
what that is.
This is what that is, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I make the connection.
Yeah, Nightmare on Film Street. Those peeps get some. Those
Yeah, this
get
looks
some
really
decent work.
good. This looks, but it also looks a little bit Kung Fury-ish in some of the effects. You know, like
I'll agree with
the
that.
80s,
Yeah.
you know,
Deliberately
over-the-topness.
80s.
Yeah.
Deliberately 80s, as opposed to going like really modern ass. They're trying
Not
to
necessarily cheesy, but just very 80s.
trying to replicate
aesthetic.
that aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this looks definitely cool and interesting. I'm in for it. I
Yeah.
mean, you're obviously on board for
I
it too.
am so on board, dude. I mean, like Gunship was like Gunship and Dance with the Dead were the first two bands that got me into this sort of music, and then Mikey and a few others turned me on the Carpenter Brute and Time Cop 1984 and so many of these other like bands in this like synthwave.
Why don't we put
dark
that on in
synth,
between our
you know,
reviews? What are
kind
you
of thing.
doing? Expose me to these things. These
Oh,
are
they're
awesome.
They're great. I
love it.
this.
Oh, I love this kind of music.
I love this sort of throwback 80s music.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of expensive equipment to make it. You know, it's like Nine Inch Nails when they were making records in like the early 90s, and they were like, yeah, you have to have like the best equipment and so many things to be able to, you know, turn out this sort of sound, but having a visual representation that's of this cyberpunk craziness that speaks to my love of you know, everything from Blade Runner to various other things. I'm so down for this, man. Yeah, I'm totally
Yeah,
down.
this looks amazing. The visuals are crazy, inventive, reminiscent. I mean, those are Death Stars. I mean, look at that. Did you see those? Those are just Death Stars.
Oh, of course.
I mean, they're exactly
like kind
the
of a
same.
Star Destroyer looking.
Or
thing.
Star Destroyer.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
not Death Stars. Duh, Death Star. I know that Death Star's the planet. Yeah, Star Destroyer. Thank you. Fucking whatever. You know.
I've just been doing so much.
No,
Star
you're right.
Wars
You're
stuff
right. I'll catch
lightly.
shit for that. They're Star
Yeah.
Destroyers.
But the floating
God,
naked
I hate
woman.
that I got
mean,
it wrong. more
remember
than
the
anything.
box set that Pink Floyd had, where there was
Yeah.
a floating naked woman, and then there was also that poster where you saw the butts.
That
and
ass, though.
Each butt was like a different album
Succulent.
cover and stuff.
Oh, that's a great cover.
That's a
That's a great poster.
Anyway.
Anywho's, it's yeah, we're okay. So we're on board for this one. Why don't you guys let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below? We're gonna move on to the next trailer in the trailer reaction roundup. This one, let's go into Lovecraft. Actually, you know what? The next one, let's do the Shivering Truth. So I only found out about this because I saw this trailer. This is the second season of this show.
Yeah.
And I saw that the first season is available on the YouTube TV app, which is what I use to watch stuff. I'm currently almost done with Blood Drive, so we can review it. But the Shivering Truth is a claymation animation show, and I watched... I admittedly watched this trailer, so I've seen it, but I wanted to show it because you haven't, and the audience hasn't. And it will make you want to go back and watch season 1 like I did.
I think
so. I'm halfway through season 1, and I'll say that season 1 is a very... You have to be in a mood to watch these, even though they're only 12-minute episodes.
Yeah,
there's only
Adult
6
Swim,
of them.
like super bite-sized. Yeah.
Super bite-sized, but they don't make you feel good by the end.
Well, if that's the case, the last claymation thing I watched on Adult Swim was Moral Oral, and Moral Oral did not make me feel very.
This is
happy
very in that
at
vein, then.
all.
But let's check out this trailer,
empty and horrible after
so
each
all
episode.
of you guys can watch it, and then someone needs to watch the first season so we can review the first and second season.
I mean, if it's
because you'll see, it's so horror. You'll see. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, oh go.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Slip away. Let go.
It's just so weird, dude.
Have to hold on. I'm not gonna just die. I have never been so insulted. Okay, I can try.
I told you not to bug me at work.
You can't scare me off that easy.
Oh my lord.
Since I was a kid,
It just messes with so many of our horror tropes.
This is like over the line.
I'm sorry, but this is the world.
You need to fix it now.
And can I just say,
All right, well, I will just say one word and one word alone: drugs.
yes, very drugs.
100%.
Very much drugs. But one thing here I'll say is that at the end of each episode in season 1 ends with the mask in full screen and it cries the credits. It's so crazy. The credits literally cry out of the mask. I'm like, this is so unique, this show. It is so down, so weird, but I mean, come on, tell me you're not intrigued.
No, I will.
It's so weird.
Last shot of
It's
like
just so weird.
Yeah, just how elaborate his death was there at the end. What
So
the hell?
weird. So all right, I obviously am a fan, and I'll give my thoughts. But go ahead, since this is your first time seeing it.
Yeah, to put it plainly, bluntly, it feels very much like Black Mirror for the TikTok generation is what I would probably say.
He feels like an effed up robot chicken.
Well, yeah, well, that as well. I mean, anytime I see stop motion, I love this form of animation. The fact that we don't see it as frequently anymore. Adult Swim keeping this alive and yet implementing the weird, strange anthology horror aspect to it. Like
when he makes out with the alien, it's just, what? You're not gonna scare me away that easy.
Yeah, I'm into this.
And then the big demon, like, oh, you're going a little too far there with the baby. Like, I'm so, like, as horror fans, they're just obviously messing with all of the tropes that we're so familiar with, which is what I watched this trailer and I was like, oh my god, I gotta watch the first season, which is when I sent out on our message group, have you guys seen this? Like, this is nuts. And it really is living up to it. I'm only halfway through season 1, but I'm so excited to review season 1 and season 2.
This at least feels a little bit more engaging than some of the more extreme content on Adult Swim, like Mr. Pickles, for God's sake, which made me feel like
we do need to review.
Which made me feel like I was getting dumber as I watched it.
That's
just
why
like
it
with
takes
a lot of Tim and Eric.
I'm
I was
4
getting
episodes
dumber
into
as I
Mr. Pickles, and like I can't do more than one at a time. Yeah, I can't do more than one episode at a time because it's just so.
It's mind numbing.
It is. It's very mind numbing, and this is too. But in the season 1 is mind numbing. In the it's like the weirdest Twilight Zone episodes is what the first season is.
Yeah, Twilight Zone, Black Mirror. I mean, and the fact that each thing would be an individual story where I could possibly, I don't know.
12 minutes. That's it.
Yeah,
Super easy.
I love stop motion animation.
I do too. That's why I watch it, 'cause it's like
with like physical things that they're actually utilizing.
Remember Celebrity Deathmatch? How awesome that claymation stuff is. It's just the same. It's
they were
the same.
allegedly trying to revive it for a while.
I heard that too.
Yeah,
It's a shame they didn't. So.
But I can try to die. Yeah, that was
all right, so that's gonna do it.
This is on my radar now officially.
Okay, so now you'll go back and watch season 1 now.
I saw the Bloody Disgusting review of the trailer, or like article or something, and I was just like, nah, I just filed it away. But
yeah, all right. Okay. So next, now this one is one I actually want to show. So this is a proof of concept trailer. Before we get to the last 2 that everyone wants us to react to,
Lovecraft and NOS4A2.
3, I should say. Lovecraft, NOS4A2, and Peninsula. So this one is called The Plague. This is a concept trailer from Johannes Roberts that made 47 Meters Down.
I heard about this actually, yeah.
Yes.
And you also did The Other Side of the Door.
Don't want to answer. All right, that's old school horror show for any of you guys that have been watching for 4 years or more.
God, the people are still talking about Dog Liker, for God's sake. I mean,
my God.
on.
Really?
Yeah.
Still?
Like a week ago.
That's too
Hail
funny.
Stephen King.
All right, so this is called The Plague. And I started to watch this trailer. I was like, oh, this is high budget. I got to save it. So here we go. Let's get into it. 3.
Didn't he do this in quarantine?
I
don't
know.
Yeah, I think he did.
Ooh, if so. All right, let's give it a try. 3, 2, 1, go. Again, it's a proof of concept trailer.
This is the end.
Beautiful friend.
This is how it begins.
Ooh. Just that in the coronavirus times, that's all it takes to be unnerving. Oh, where's my drink?
And look at that close proximity of people. Ugh. Grody. No social distancing that, guys. He's like, oh, I want to get close to this cutie. Is he even looking down? Oh, well, if that's what she's looking at, she is vain and dumb.
You wouldn't?
No, her phone thing where she's like looking at a photo of herself as her background. He's like, ugh, I can smell you.
Oh, that's the nest. Oh. This is really cool.
Oh, boy.
I watched up to just a little bit past this and I was like, oh, I gotta wait.
Oh! Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Good job, bro.
Oh,
wow.
no good.
Okay, well,
no good.
that's-
Oh. That's funny.
This was obviously filmed before everything was
Had
shut
to
down.
have been. I was like, quarantine, really?
Yeah. Maybe just the quarantine relatability. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Pustules. Oh.
Yeah, that's some outbreak shit right there, man.
Yeah, but if it's all spiders.
Ryan.
Are they all spiders?
After having just watched The Mist the other day.
Oh, I hope there aren't all spiders. Oh, I hope those pustules
Oh
don't hold
no,
spiders.
it looks like it's spreading.
Oh no. The pustules hold spiders. Ah! It's spiders! Oh, the pustules hold spiders. Oh. Oh, and there's a lot of people with pustules.
Jesus Christ, am I ready to be sick?
That is effective as all hell. Oh, I love the creative media logo. Did you see that?
I did.
It's a periodic table thing? That's fucking cool. What a creative idea for a logo.
Yuck, dude. I mean, not
Wow.
since...
Okay,
not
all
since
right. I gotta run it back
Arachnophobia
so
has
while we
a
talk about it.
spider
All right,
thing-
you go first then, Fuego. Since...
Not since Arachnophobia, I think, has a spider thing grossed me out this much. And yes, I've seen Eight-Legged Freaks, and I've seen other spin-offs without spiders, like Skeeter and different stuff
I've seen
like that.
Big Ass Spider.
But,
It's
yeah,
not the
just-
same thing.
Ugh.
This is disturbing.
This was very disturbing. That's why I'm, like, wiggling right
So
now.
relatable, too, though, on the subway. And just a girl that just starts out going... and then she hawks up.
Yeah.
Like a blood tissue spider
Mm-hmm.
that when it gets stomped on separates into a tiny little spiders and regrows.
Yeah. So you would imagine everybody on this subway car got infected by what she did, and
I would imagine they're indestructible spiders, and that's unnerving as all hell.
because then what do? You have to find out how you can actually kill them.
Now
Can't
I'm
you
kind of
smush
bummed this is just a proof of concept.
them?
Like, this isn't an actual movie we can see. This is a bummer. This is now I really want to see this movie.
And I've been relatively critical of Johannes Roberts from time to time, but he's a good director. It's just he hasn't always had the best story.
Dude, I pulled out 47 Meters Down because I remember us enjoying it, so I'm gonna give it a
liked the
rewatch.
first one. This is
Yeah,
the second
I haven't
one
watched
I
it since
wasn't
the
so fond
theater,
of.
so.
Actually,
we liked the second one too. We thought it was still thrilling as all
I
hell.
didn't even hate The Other Side of the Door as much as like The Boy or a few others
No,
we
me
saw
either.
that year.
Me either.
So, dude, the hand, like the gruesome grossness on the hand after she barfs it up is even. And it almost, look at all the little tiny ones.
The little ones
I
going
didn't even
everywhere.
notice that.
Oh,
when
you didn't?
No. I just saw the fact that it didn't seem like it was actually dying when he stepped on it.
Yeah, no, and the little ones are
I didn't
spreading.
see the CGI of all. And are they like crawling up on people?
No, but they're in the. Did you see the subway behind them? Look at the train behind her. It's all the people like banging on it trying to get out.
Oh no!
That's such a that's a really well made trailer right there.
Is some
Woo! All right, so
well,
that
well
is
spent, man.
Johannes Roberts.
This better be a movie, goddammit.
I know someone better pick up on that and be like, oh yeah, we got to make that. All right, so that was The Plague. Let us know what your thoughts are. Now, let's get to the final 3 trailers that everyone wants us to talk about. Let's do Nosferatu Season 2 first. So this is Nosferatu, A Hero Rises Season 2 trailer. This is the first full trailer, not teasers.
Yeah, which we can expect is going to be the adult version of her story.
Well, it should be the second half. I mean, the
Yeah.
first season was really the first half of the book, so...
Yeah, when she was a much younger kid, and she's going to be played, like, at the same age now, or, like, I don't know, it's... Well, we shuffle it... sorry, man. Sorry.
All right, so here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Guys,
Oh, it's cool. She's doing the bike painting. That's cool. Yeah.
Oh, and they do have a great. Okay,
He's
so
back.
we are making a time jump, as I suspected, just like in the book. She's all tatted up now, and drinking like we knew she would be.
Oh. Oh, those feet are so messed up.
From the proverbial coma.
I'm gonna find him, gonna kill him once and for all.
Are you ready for the ride of your life?
Ooh. Yeah, shorter way.
He wants you dead, Vic.
Do not let Wayne get into that car.
Oh, so Maggie's gonna die.
You can't have Wayne. I will stop you even if it kills me.
Okay. All right. So it's a brief
taste.
trailer,
Yeah,
brief
that's
little
like a
taste.
minute,
But
right?
I'll go first since you're close to it as well. But obviously the Stephen King guy. It doesn't. The first season didn't disappoint, except that it was a bummer that it ended halfway through the book, and we didn't realize that that's what they were going to do. So we got all of the Bing Bing stuff in the first season, and when it ended, I was a little bit bummed, but I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. This is at least an interesting part of the story, so I don't know. It looks okay to me. What about you?
No, I'm stoked for it, man. I mean, I thought the production values were high, and I appreciated the team that was together. I liked Zachary Quinto in the role, and even though her name is eluding me now because I was a big fan of her following Hounds of Love when this was about to come up, that the fact that the character in her younger half is so much distance major distance in years in comparison with where the adult story takes place in the later aspect of the book. This feels more age appropriate for her and more like, I don't know.
Did you see her eye right here at the end? How her eye's got the pin pain going through it, so it's all messed up. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
There was almost a bait and switch with the first season that I didn't appreciate.
I agree.
And that they almost brought on too much melodrama with the other love interest, with the other guy who didn't end up becoming the guy who she's obviously had the kid with, who she meets, who saves her at the end. And I don't know. Lou. Yeah, that's his name.
Lou Carmody.
Yeah, exactly. So this is really just going... this almost feels more book appropriate in comparison with the additional stuff that they tried to add in for that first season that was really like a precursor in a lot of ways. But I still have a lot of faith in the production team, and just give us more Christmas Land is what I would say.
Yeah.
That would be certainly cool. So.
All right, so let's get into the last two.
Although I would suspect they're going to try to get a third season out of this. I don't think they're going to try to cap it off.
Oh, no, I think they'll have to
Really, you think they'll just
it.
cap it off at 2?
They'll have to. There's not enough story for 3.
There really isn't,
No.
but they expanded significantly in the first one, so
No.
I don't know.
All right, so next let's do the other Jordan Peele-produced property coming to HBO.
Ironically, Joe Hill was tweeting yesterday
Oh,
about...
you're right. It's Lovecraft Country. I thought it was Lovecraft County.
Yeah.
When did that change? I thought it was
know.
Lovecraft County for a long time. Wow.
Joe Hill tweeted about this yesterday, and he's like, why do I have to wait like X amount of time for this when I'm quarantined and have nothing to do and I would like to watch this now? HBO, why?
It's called trailers, Joe.
Yeah,
it's called
exactly.
trailers.
Yeah, he was just being facetious and silly and stuff. But
all right, so let's get to it. This is a Jordan Peele-produced
do you
show.
know, like, what this is about?
Lovecraft?
Because if you don't...
No, not really.
Oh, because I do.
Okay, I don't. Let's go. 3, 2, 1,
let's
go.
Just do it. It's a period piece.
Yeah, great. Always bodes well for me.
Oh, I think you'll be up for...
Reacquainted with old friends.
Oh, it's gonna get, it's very Get Out in the casting.
Uncle George, the reason I'm back home.
Or I should say the second movie more
He's
so.
gone missing.
Father's gone missing.
Okay, father's gone missing.
He wrote me. The place he wants me to go is in Lovecraft Country.
Yeah. Tell me you're going to get some tentacles. JJ?
So we're dealing with some racism, man. But there's other stuff, too.
Of course there is.
But there's other stuff, too.
Ooh, creature. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, what was that? Ooh, creatures, I'm on board.
I thought the world was one way.
Was that Sam
You
Whitmer?
found out it isn't.
just watched him in this the other night, and I forgot he was in it.
Is that Margot Robbie?
I haven't even gotten to the real strange part.
Or is that the knockoff version? Ooh!
Hey,
Yes, please! Creature madness. I gotta look at that last creature again. Look at that mouth,
man, massive.
Woo! All right, let's go back. So I'm gonna go first on this one, Fuego.
Do it, Toga.
Yeah,
Toga.
I'm on board, dude. I mean, period pieces don't always do it for me, but this
isn't.
It's
too
weird.
Far back.
Yeah, it's not too far
Like
back.
60s,
It doesn't feel. I can still deal with 60s, 70s, 80s, all that stuff just fine. So I had no idea it was gonna be so. I mean, Lovecraft Country does imply a creature, but it implies tentacled creatures, not these dog-like, creatures. They look like they're hyped up versions of the Ghostbusters dogs. But I'm still here for it, and I don't know. The story seems interesting. Lovecraft Country, like you got to go to Lovecraft. I don't know. I'm on board for it. In Peel, I trust.
Yeah.
How about for you, Fuego?
Oh, I was stoked about this from the time I heard it initially announced, and the fact that based on, I don't know if it's a book or a series of books, so this is actually based, and it's not like an original show, it's based on some literature going down, and yes, so you've got racism in this particular era in the South, and yet, so you're going to have like human villains, of the racist variety, and corresponding in this dichotomy with like full-on creature craziness as this father goes in an already harsh environment with the people alone to investigate the disappearance of his father. So you got like a double down of evil, and I thought that was already intriguing enough. The production values, I was worried, wouldn't be quite as high as I was hoping, but HBO, you never let me down, man.
HBO
I mean,
and
this will be on HBO Max in a few months in August, and I'm
worth the $15 a month, guys. I'm paying for HBO now. It is worth the $15 a month.
Yeah, and they have a promotional thing right now, and we're not sponsored by HBO, although HBO, hey,
hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, exactly. But you can get it for $11.99 right now for the first year, and they will basically break out all of the
$12 for a year, $1 a month.
$12 a month.
Okay, I was gonna say, wow,
exactly. Wouldn't that be nice?
Still, that's $3 less than what I'm paying.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I mean, and it's $1 less than what Netflix asks for their 4K streaming right now. So they are going full-fledged with their original programming. They're basically, HBO is teaming with Warner Brothers and everything in the Warner Brothers library, along with everything in the HBO library to go against Netflix. And it's going to be interesting how that fight goes down.
Straight up, when you break it down, you spend $15 a month, even at the full price. Right now, it's $12 a month. So if you spend $12 a month, that's the cost of one movie ticket.
When we could go to the movies.
You can. I mean, you could spend that on a year's worth of HBO. Only watch a movie's worth of material each month, and you wouldn't finish for 5 or 6 years. That's just it's such a good value for what you get out of it. So
yeah, between
man.
older stuff like Game of Thrones and Sopranos.
I've gone months where I haven't watched anything, and I still don't feel like I've lost anything because the stuff I have watched is of such a high caliber. Between Chernobyl and Watchmen and Ballers and like a bunch of fun shows.
Is Ballers the one with?
The Outsider, no less.
Yeah,
we just watched that too, which we're going to be reviewing next. So, yeah, I mean this looks good. This definitely looks good.
I'm stoked. Can't wait.
Let's move on to the final trailer, Fuego, which is for the long-awaited sequel to Train to Busan. This is called Train to Busan Presents Peninsula.
Yeah, so it's less a sequel, so we're assuming it's not going to have the same character. I mean, we know stuff that went down. This is more like a spin-off, like within the same universe, like a different tale.
Well, Train to Busan was a spin-off of Seoul Station, really.
Which was a prequel to Train to Busan, yeah, which I still haven't watched it yet. I know that's the animated version of this, but...
we're going to be reviewing it,
yeah. Can't wait. I've heard this trailer is brutal, and we have waited a number of weeks to check it out together.
So let's do it in 3, 2, 1, go! Okay. Militaristic. Oh
boy. All right. Or 4 years after. All right. So we're talking.
Huh. Jeez. Oh, boy. Oh, cool. What is that?
God.
What was that? Wow.
Man.
Huh.
많이 무서웠죠.
Damn.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, that's intense.
Living
High
up to the hype.
intensity zombie action.
Yeah, living up to the hype. I was.
Fuego, why don't you go first on this one?
I appreciate the fact that, as opposed to the more self-contained Train to Busan, this is going like the world, like countrywide, I guess you could say. Cameron approach, so like Terminator 2, Aliens approach of like bigger, badder, crazier, you know, larger set pieces of insanity and so much more going on. Just the sheer scale in comparison. I can't wait for this movie, man. And South Korea has put out some amazing horror in the last decade, which has been a constant discussion amongst us and lots of other contemporaries and friends of ours on the YouTubes.
Yeah, indeed. This is definitely captivating and obviously reminiscent of some Governor from Walking Dead vibes with the human survivors having a fight. But this zombie monster that's like skittering on the ground, that is so crazy and only something that, you know, the South Korean filmmakers could come up with. Like, they're so creative with their use of zombies. In Train to Busan, the zombies, especially on the train, were almost like a tidal wave of zombies cascading over each other. Kind of like the way they portrayed in World War Z with Brad Pitt, but done much better. And it was a really intense movie with really great emotional highs and lows. And if this movie, Peninsula, can capture even a fraction of what Train to Busan did, then, I mean, Train to Busan, along with that and One Cut of the Dead, I think those are probably the two best zombie movies of the 2010s. I mean, since 2010, 100%. So what do you think about this trailer then, Fuego?
Oh, I'm pumped, man. I can't wait to see some further expansion of the world, and I guess this director is also working on another like horror series for Netflix. So I mean, prominence just increasing, and production values are high. The makeup work is gross and good, and you know, the fact that they have actual weapons in comparison, once again, the Cameron factor, man. I'm always about taking a small, scary idea and the confinement aspect of it, like with the original Alien that Ridley Scott did, and then just blowing it the hell up and just making it bigger and crazier and scarier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the same mind. So this looks great. I mean, this is a good little trailer. I mean, they didn't show a ton, but they showed enough to definitely pique our interest. So why don't you guys let us know in the comments down below, what did you think of the trailer for Train to Busan Presents Peninsula? Or what did you think of any of the other trailers? Let us know in those comments down below. While you're down there is a link in the description box for our Patreon, where you can support the channel more directly and request movies for us to review along these lines, or do commentaries for any number of things. Any of that, the link is in that description box down below. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed this trailer reaction roundup, click the like button and subscribe. Maybe we'll just wait for trailers to do, you know, month-long roundups or something like that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see how the world continues working.
Exactly. Until next time, though, I've been Cecil Laird.
Shivering Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.